Hello and welcome to this new World of Tanks Blitz video. In today's video I'm going to be talking about the new update that came out recently for the game, and specifically we're going to be talking about the new matchmaker that came out in this new update. But before we start talking about the update and the matchmaker and all that type of stuff, as you can see I have a new tank. I have the KV4. I was able to get this tank recently because Wargaming had a quest where if you could do 100,000 damage in a few days, you could unlock the battle pass for free. And that allowed me to get this tank because I had already unlocked it a while ago, but I just didn't really get the credits, needed to purchase it. And whenever I would get a lot of credits, I would, dedicate it to other tanks. So it's finally here, good to have it. I've only played it a few times, but, it's a fun tank. Now, talking about the update. I don't usually, talk about my stats and all that type of stuff like a lot of other players do, but I feel like I need to talk about my stats before I, you know, basically get into this matchmaking problem, because people be like, oh, you just, that's, one thing I see that's common in the Blitz community is when someone will mention a problem about the game or a tank or something of that nature, someone will always reply, oh, that's a skill issue. So I am a 57% win rate player, and my average damage is over 1,000 by quite a bit. So there's no skill noob issues, going on right now. And not too long ago, my win rate was a lot higher. It was a lot higher before this new matchmaking update. And for a while, I was about, I think, a 70% win rate player, but 70 wasn't really sustainable with the teams of today. So I leveled out around, 60-ish, and this new update has been causing some big drops. So this update promised to make the matchmaker more fair. It would spread out teams, so you wouldn't have rookies. If you're an experienced player, you would have rookies on your team, and rookies wouldn't be going up against people who've been playing the game for years. And this sounded pretty good because the matchmaker had been, let's just say, a problem for many years. I've been playing the game since about 2020, and I've seen the matchmaker just decline and get worse and worse over the years. I didn't really start to notice, much of a problem until I came back to Blitz last year after a long hiatus and not playing. And I was just like, wow, these teams are different. I remember playing back in 2020 and 2021, and I didn't really have, these issues. You look at some of these teams, and not even just talking about the win rate, it's like everybody has a different level, and skill level, and I respect that, and that's cool. But, it can be kind of annoying sometimes, when, you're doing your thing, you got 4,000 damage, you're helping out the team, and then you look up at the ticker on the top of the screen, and all of your allied tanks are already dead, or you do things, and, they just, missing every shot, bouncing every shot, or, the heavy tanks decide to go fight the light tanks, then the light tanks decide to follow me and go to the heavy side, and before I know it, I'm fighting Tiger 2s and Tiger 1s, by myself with some light tanks because the heavy tanks wanted to go fight lights, and it's just been a disaster. And when I heard that the new matchmaker was coming out, I thought this would be a great thing. I thought all skilled players kind of think the same. We all, when we see like an Annihilator, all skilled players want to get rid of the Annihilator first before the Hellcat. So I figured this new thing would help us because we would have more skilled players, and it wouldn't be a type of thing where after you lose a battle, you look and you see all your teammates have 35% win rates and 400 average damage. But I would think that this new matchmaker is actually worse, because I think I had probably about maybe, let's see, I probably went about, 2 and 14 or like 4 and 14 or something like that in battles since the new matchmaker has come out. And it hasn't been that I haven't been playing good. I've been doing, at least 1,000 damage per game, usually about 2,000, sometimes 3,000, and we're still constantly losing. And I'm just wondering, this is, a team's sport like football. It's like you can't win on your own. I'm just like, apparently this matchmaker is not doing its job because I'm averaging between 1,000 and 2,000 damage, but yet I'm, like 2 and 14 and can't even win a game. And I really started noticing it when I was going for the quest. Because I was trying to get the free battle pass, and I was just, it had gotten so bad to the point where I was like, okay, I'm just gonna play the fun modes and just try and do as much damage as possible, because I was trying to, farm stats and farm damage at the exact same time, but stats was just getting worse. I don't know what they did, but I don't know. I mean, do I have a solution? I mean, not really. I mean, I don't really have like a solution. I mean, they could do something where they have different leagues, like you have the 0 to 45% league, and everybody who's from 0 to 45%. Like, say if we go to battle mode, say how you have regular rating and that games, say instead of rating mode you had like 0 to 47% or something like that, and that's where all players with between 0 and 47% win rate and stats would play. And then once they reach 48, it'll be like 48 and 70% win rate, like the top players. But I'm not sure how you police that. I mean, I'm not sure how. I mean, if you're trusting, people to be honest, I mean, there's hardly any honest people left in the world anymore. So there's no guarantee that somebody with a 50% win rate or a 70% win rate wouldn't go down to the 0 to 47% side just to be able to get some cheap, easy damage. And there's no guarantee that, a 0 to 47% player would, one day feel pretty puffed up and decide to go play with the 48 and 70%ers. So, I mean, that's an idea, but I don't know how you can police it. Thanks for watching, and I guess that's the video.